Hello, good morning. Another morning here in the Philippines. And inevitably, when you live in the province or the countryside or a rural setting, no matter how close you are to a city, the same sounds greet you each morning. And for many, it's seen almost like a, dare I say it, a red flag. What is a red flag? Red flags are a symbolism of things that may concern you. It's a bit like having a wish list. And I suppose a red flag is a wish list in reverse. It's just one of those things that we need to remember, we need to consider. Buyer beware, we might say. Now, of course, when we're looking ostensibly for a relationship that we've been unable to create or find in the West, many of us come to the Philippines as an opportunity to maybe discover something that might take our fancy. Now, my suggestion, and it is after all only a suggestion, is that we need to move away from the idea that everything is a red flag. After all, aren't we coming here to be positive, to make positive decisions, to look at life from a different angle? We tend to be driven by videos that pervade the airwaves of the Philippines here. Many done by Americans, Australians, and Englishmen like myself, trying to show you life or life experiences here in the Philippines. But we also tend to talk maybe sometimes too much about the negative, and we need to really focus on the more positive aspects of a life here, maybe in retirement in the Philippines. Now, just stop for a moment and imagine there are a number of phrases that refer to us, that's us foreigners, that many of us will experience in the first few days of being here. Number one, we're all rich, we're all millionaires, we're all people with big, expensive lifestyles before we came here. Are we? Are we really? So when we worked in Walmart, and we had a daytime job as well, and we scratched away at maybe a lawn mowing business, are we really millionaires? I doubt it very much, because that was just life. And as a result, they've got a false impression of us. Of course, they will see you as millionaires because you have enough money to hop on a plane and find your way over here to the Philippines or Southeast Asia. They understand that what we consider a budget price airline to bring us here, they just see you as maybe business class, first class maybe. They don't imagine that you'd be traveling bucket price seats, that type of thing. We have options that are available to us that we don't think about. We're hungry, we go in the first place that takes our fancy. We don't say, can we afford to go there? We just do it. If we want to drink, we choose from an array of things that we could have to drink, and we just buy it. Why? Because we have the resources to do it. Whether or not we're on a fine art budget, whether or not we have an unlimited credit card or bank account. But the other one, of course, is Mr. ATM. Oh, that's a hard one. I've used it myself. You know, you just see me as an ATM. I'm just here to give you money. True. But do we really need to say that to our Filipina? Is it not maybe disrespectful? Are we waving a red flag in their face when in actual fact they don't see it that way? We're not talking about having their hand out, can you pay for it, and you picking up the tab. We're talking about portraying an image that in a way is being disrespectful to them. They may worship the ground that you stand on. Do you know that? Are you sure? Do you really realize that maybe they just want you to give them safety, to give them a feeling of security, something that they maybe have never had in their lives? Can you imagine every day waking up to the same sounds that you and I hear when we open the window, except that they live corrugated iron attached to a bit of bamboo or maybe second-hand lumber that they picked up off the side of the road. Somebody has given them a roof. They've used advertising banners made of canvas to hold out the rain, to keep out the sun. But they call that home. They're lucky that they have somewhere to sleep. That's their safety. Would you call that safety? Could you ever imagine what it's like to come from a background of that? They can inherit 20 hectares of land, and they may well have members of the family that plant seeds, crop the seeds, harvest the seeds. But that's what they have for their life. A very simple life of survival. You come along and you say, well, you just see me as an ATM. Well, of course you do. But what did you come here in the first place for? Was it so that you could espouse your wealth? Or was it that you've lost the idea of why you really came here? Have you forgotten what you are looking for? Are you not looking for somebody who cares for you? Somebody who genuinely worries about you? It might seem like it's having your mother again, straightening your tie, pulling your belt tight, making sure your socks are pulled up. But for them, that's about pride. It's about their own culture of being proud of who they send out of the home every day. They don't want you to look like a poor person. They want to have your shirt ironed every day. They want you to be clean. They want you to be shaved. They want your hair to be tidy. Because you are a reflection on how they are caring for you. And if they let you go around without a shave, without a haircut, without ironing your clothes, then they are telling the neighborhood that they don't care about their man. Therefore, all of the things like fancy cars that you buy them, motorbikes, build them a home, don't matter at all, because you're only focused on the red flags. You know, every human being in this world, no matter where we are from, will have annoying tendencies. They will have things that drive you crazy. just like a Filipina will for you. It's a matter of you taking the time, the energy, the decision to accept them as they are, to really rejoice in what you have found. Accept that what you have found is something you have never found anywhere else, like starting again. Ask yourself, does your woman truly care for you? Will she care for you when you're sick, or will she just ignore you? Will she abandon you like so many dogs in the street? Will she not worry about when you complain about a stomach bug, or that you're not feeling 100%? Will she show care? Will she insist that you go and get at least some medication? Or will she just ignore you and let you suffer on your own? These are the women that will have red flags, but they'll have more green ones if you want to take the opposite point of view. And it's about seeing those green flags rather than acknowledging all the red ones. Red ones can become distant when you're adding up all of the green. It's a bit like having a list of all the pros and all the cons. If we're only going to go through life meeting people and deciding on all the negatives in a person, why would we bother to try and create a relationship with anybody? If we're that fussy, if we're that determined that we're going to find Miss Wonderful, Miss Beautiful. There are guys out there that say, I'll only marry a virgin. Great. A great thing to have. Who am I to say it isn't? Actually, I would think it would be the most boring thing out. Because she has no experience in life. She doesn't even understand the basics. She's never experienced it. What we should be focusing on is, what does she represent to her family? How is she in her family situation? Just taking her for the sake of it, another notch on your belt. That's not the best way to show her that you're the right man, that she has also decided to include in her life. Of course she's eager to catch you like a fish in a pond, just like you are catching her in the same pond as well, but it's the reverse version. You just have to remember that there's something in it for both of us, and you just have to make sure that what you're both looking for is the same thing. Let's not focus on the red flags. Let's focus on all the positives that your Filipina can bring to your life and your own future. And when you've decided that, then you can see what you can build together through harmony, through good decisions, and sometimes firm determination, because when you have nothing and there's an opportunity to have more, we as human beings inevitably will become a little greedy, a little bit opportunist. And really, when you come to a country like in Southeast Asia where there is so much of a gap between rich and poor, are we really going to blame them for trying to make their lives just that little bit better? Food for thought, eh? Another thought for my day. If you like this video, please, now that you're following me on my newly named channel, instead of it being Grumpy, it's a British expat in the Philippines. I'm glad you're over here, and I'm glad that you're following me. So please give us a thumbs up. It helps the channel. And feel free to leave a nice, friendly comment each day. Bye now.